Hello everyone. Thank you for watching my question 17, the last question of Math PSLE 2020 paper 2. This is the strategy that I'm using, and this is the question 17. Let's begin. Mrs. Wu spent 1/6 of her money on the dress and 2 blouses. I'm going to present this first sentence after annotation. I'm going to use a model drawing to present this information. Okay, so bear with me. Right, so this is the model. I'm going to cut it into 6 total parts because of the denominator 6. So the denominator 6 represents the total units of money Mrs. Wu had in her wallet at first. And 1 unit was spent on 1 dress and 2 blouses. Okay, 1 dress and 2 blouses. Now, I'm going to draw this line a bit longer because we need the remainder. So I'm going to use a different color to represent the remainder. Blue. Okay, pardon my drawing. Okay, so this blue bar represents the remainder. Now, what the remainder is in such a manner: 3/4. Okay. All right. Now, 3/4 of a remaining money spent on a watch. So the remainder I have to cut into 4 equal parts because of the denominator 4, and the numerator 3 says that it is watch. Okay. Now, if you look at the remainder section, I'm going to label it with red lines. Okay. Now, the one that's up there, okay, sorry, it's not so proportionate. Okay, better. Now, the one that is the original bar, the one that is in black, there are 5 units here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the one that is in blue is only 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, 5 and 4, they don't match. They really don't match. All right, so we have to apply common multiple concept. Now, before we do that, we need to look at one more information that I have skipped. Now, the dress costs 3 times as much as a blouse. So I'm going to put it here. The dress and the blouse in the ratio form. I'm going to use it in the ratio form. So dress is to blouse 3:1. Okay, so if you look at our first bar is, I'm going to use red this time. Okay, right, so our first bar, no, I'm going to use orange. So this is my first bar, this one. Okay, all right, and then this is my remainder after spending on 1 dress and 2 blouses. Okay, so the one that is in orange is the money spent on 1 dress and 2 blouses. All right, okay, so if the price of 1 dress is 3 units and the price of 1 blouse is 1 unit, that means this over here should be 3 units plus 2 units. That is 5. So this is actually 5 units. Now, why 5 units? Simply saying it is 3 plus 2, that is 5. Okay, right, so let me write down clearly for you. Another blouse here. Yep, so that is 5 units. Right, the first 5 units spent on a dress and 2 blouses. Okay, so if this is 5 units, right, then all these must be 5 units. So all these will be 5, 5, 5, 5, and 5. Okay, all right, so the total is now, if you look at the grand total is 5 times 6, that is 30 big units, 30 units here, the grand total. That means Mrs. Wu had 30 units of money at first. Okay, now back to the remainder model, this part to this part. Okay, now if the remainder model, okay, if the remainder is the 5 units plus 5 units plus 5 units plus 5 units plus 5 units, so the remainder is actually 25 units. Now, how can 25 units be divided into 4 blue units here? No, cannot, because 25 is not divisible by 4. So because of that, right, we have to always remember using common multiples. So the common multiples of 25 and 4 is none other than our 100. Yes, it's indeed our 100. Okay, so that means this 25 over here is now 100 units. Okay, so what does it mean? That means this is 20 units, 20 units, 20 units, 20 units, 20 units, because 20 times 5 is 100. Right? So the remainder must be 100 units after the common multiple idea. Okay? So 100 units for the remainder, the one that is in the black bar, and the blue bar, we have to have the same treatment. Right? So this must be 25 units, 25 units, 25 units, and this is 25 units. Now I'm going to remove this to make it less confusing. So just call this our remainder. Okay? Alright, now don't forget we still have this part here. The 1 dress and 2 blouses is also 20 units. So from here we can conclude that Mrs. Wu's original amount of money, I'm going to draw it up here, okay, because of lack of space. So Mrs. Wu's original amount of money is now 25, sorry, it's now 5, it's okay. How many 20s are there now? How many 20s are there from the black and yellow bar? That will be the total amount of money that Mrs. Wu had at first. Okay, so if you look at the yellow and the black bar, we have altogether 6 20s. So 6 20s means 6 times 20 units. That gives us 120 units. So 120 units will be the total money in her wallet at first. Okay, now what about question A? What fraction of her money was spent in each blouse? Now, one blouse, okay, one blouse is actually in our original ratio, one blouse is actually 1 unit. But take note, this 5 over here, this 5 over here is no longer 5. This 5 is now 20 units. Okay, so what I will do is, what I'll do is, I will rewrite that ratio into its equivalent. Okay, it's now no longer 5 units, it is now 20 units. It must match our latest update. Okay, so now add the original ratio needs to be multiplied by 4. So this is 12, this is 4, this is 4. So one blouse is actually 4 units. Right, so one blouse is 4 units. out of the total money that she has, which is out of 120 units. So if you simplify this fraction, we have already answered part A. Okay, and that is 1 out of 30. Part A is done. Okay, let's move on to part B. Now, what is part B? How much money did Mrs. Wu have at first? How much did she have at first? Okay, all right, so we have this information here. Line 3. She spent $220.50 more on the watch than on a dress. Okay, let's find out the watch. How many units? The watch is actually 25 units appearing 3 times. That is our 75 units. So the watch is 75 units. And one dress is 12 units. Okay, so 75 here, 12 there. Now to find the difference between them, so 75 units subtract 12 units. Okay, that gives us 63 units. And what is 63 units? 63 units is the information in the question. $220.50. So we can use unitary method to find what is 1 unit. So 1 unit is 220 divided $220.50 divided by 63, and that gives us $3.50, 3.50. Okay, let me rewrite the 3. It doesn't look nice to me. So 350 cents. Now, Mrs. Wu's wallet, at first, she has 120 units. If you look at the model, okay, the original model. So after common multiples and all that, so 120 units should be 120 multiplied by 350. So 120 times 350 is already our answer. Okay, so what is 120 times 350? It is $420. So the answer is 420. And $420 is the final answer for part B. Okay, so 17A, the answer is a fraction, 1 out of 30 over here. And 17B, the answer is $420 over here. All right, so part A, part B completed. Question 17 is done. All right, we have finally completed the entire series of PSLE Math 2020 Paper 2. My new videos to be uploaded will be from the PSLE Math 2019 Paper 2. Okay, feel free to replay my video to have a better idea, better understanding, fuller understanding on how to go about solving question 17. If you find that it's very clear, give me a thumbs up, share with your friend, and most importantly is to subscribe so that you will receive all my videos related to PSLE mathematics. Alright, this is Joseph. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Goodbye. See you again. Take care.